Hi everyone, it's Sorkin. Today we are going to revisit a problem, subarray sum equals to k, in order to make it crystal clear what is the exact approach that we are taking in order to solve this problem. So what's the problem? The problem is that we have an array nums and we are given a k, so we need to find the number of the subarrays in these nums, sum of which is equals to k. So what's the subarray in this case, right? Subarray is the continuous part of the continuous subarray, so it cannot be that, let's say that the subarray that we are taking, it should be continuous. So how many continuous subarrays that we have here? So for example, 1 is this one, 3 and 4 gives us 7, 7 itself gives us 7, this 3 gives us 7, and so on, right? These are the subarrays that gives us 7. So how we are going to approach to solve this problem, right? There are several ways that how we can approach to solve this problem, and the one is that comes to mind immediately is to use the sliding window, right? To use the sliding window approach, right? What we do in the sliding window approach. In sliding window approach, we have a window which we are expanding, and let's see that is it going to work, right? First of all, the sliding window is going to work in this case or not. So in the sliding window, we have a window that we are extending, and so as we go, we are extending the window, and we are excluding the previous element and including the next element. For example, let's say that the first element that we are taking is 3. 3 is less than 7, so we are including 4. So this is our next window. 3 plus 7 gives us what? Gives us 7. So our count that we are going to return, right? Our count that is equals to 1. So we have found at least one element. So then next one, we are expanding our window, right? So now we are taking 3 elements. Our sum is equals to 14. 3 plus 7 plus 3 plus 4 plus 7 gives us 14, right? So 14 is more than 7. So what we do is we are moving our window here, right? So we are moving so now these 3 elements is in our sliding window. Now we are excluding the leftmost element. Now this 2 is in our sliding window, right? So 14 minus 3 gives us 11. Again, it's more than our value. Again, we are moving the leftmost element. We are excluding leftmost element. Now it's 7. 7 is another one, so we are adding the 1 to our count, and again we are expanding our window. So we are expanding our window. 7 plus, so 11 minus 7 gives us what? Gives us 7, so we included that, and the next one we are adding 2. Now it's 9. Now we need to exclude the leftmost element again, right? So we are excluding the leftmost element here. Let's remove that. So we are in the sliding window. Now we are here, right, in the 2. So again we are including the next element, and once we include the next element, the sliding window value at this point is -1, right? At this point, it's -1. So what's the problem? Why we cannot use the sliding window? The problem is that in this array, we may have positive as well as the negative numbers. So if our next element is -3, then in that case, we cannot just go further, right? So we need to also consider the scenarios that comes before. So which means that at this point also we need to go backwards and check the previous elements. So far we have been only excluding the leftmost element and including the rightmost element. Now we have to go back and do the reverse, right? Here, for example, if this element, let's say 8, then in that case this subarray will give us 7, right? This subarray, 8 plus 2 is equals to 10. 10 minus 3 gives us 7. It's 7. So in this case, we need to also move the backwards, but that's not how the sliding window works. So we cannot use the sliding window in this case, right? We cannot include the rightmost element and exclude the leftmost element. So it will not work for us. So sliding window is not working for us. So what's the another approach that we can use? Another approach that we are going to use in this case, we are going to use a prefix sum. So we are going to consider the fact that we are going over our array, and we can, yeah, let me copy paste that here. So we are going over our array, and we are having sum of our elements, right? We are having the sum of our elements. Let me put that here. So we are having the sum of our elements, and we can reuse that value, right? We can reuse the sum of the elements that we are gathering so far. So what's that mean? So what we do is we are creating a hash map here, right? So we are creating a hash map. And in the hash map, what we do is we are calculating the number, we are saving the sum and how many times it's repeated. Let's go over it. I think that it will be more clear what I mean. So let me also copy this one, the values of the hash map that we are saving. So here I already saved that. Let me put that here. So what we are doing here, right? So we are going over hash map, and at each step, so we are initializing a hash map to store our prefix sum. So we are initializing here hash map, and the first value we put here, the default value is, we are putting here the default value is 0 and 1. When the value is equals to 0, we at least have one case. Let's go over our example. I think it will be more clear. So what we do, we have initialized our prefix sum here. That's the first step. And in the next step, so what we do for each element, we go over our array. We are adding whatever the value is, we are adding to sum, and we are calculating the leftover. So for example, let's say in this case, right? So first what we do is, so we have added 0 and 1 to our hash map, so which means that for the value 0 we have at least one case, right? Then we have 3, so we are going over our array, and we are taking the sum in this case is 3, so we are saving 3 is not in our hash map, so we are saving 3 is repeated once, and then 3 minus our total sum is equals to 3 in this case, right? 3 minus k, which is 3 minus k gives us minus 4. Is minus 4 in our hash map? No, it's not. So we are going to the next one, right? To the 4. Again, we are adding 4, and our total sum in this case, right? Our total sum is equals to 7. So 7 minus 7, leftover in this case, right? Leftover for this scenario, for the second scenario, 3 and the 4, when we consider 3 and 4, is sum is equals to 7, and the leftover 7 minus 7 gives us 0. So which means that in this case, right, and we are checking our map, do we have any case where for the leftover, right? Yes, we have 0, right? For the 0 we have put here our one default case 1, and this 2 gives us first subarray where the sum is equals to 7. So what we did here, right? So let's revisit and understand what exactly we did here, right? Our sum at this point, right? Our sum at this point is equals to 7, and what we do is we are taking the leftover. What's the leftover? Leftover is sum minus whatever our k is. Minus our k is equals to 0. Now we are considering, okay, in order for all this to make sense, which means that in order for this to have our subarray, our leftover, we should have somewhere earlier in the array our leftover. Since our leftover is equals to 1, so since our leftover is equals to 0, and for the 0, that's why we are taking one default case, then in that case we are adding that value to our count, right? So we are adding that value to our count 1. But let's take another scenario. Let's say that for in our array here we have two more elements. We have minus 2 and we have 2, right? So we have two previous elements. Before 3 and 4, we have two previous elements, right? We have minus 2 and the 2. So once we go over our array, again, we are adding to our key and value, right? So let's say that prior to that, we are adding to our key and value, we are adding minus 2 is repeated once. Then we have a minus 2 plus 2 gives us 0, right? So 0 is equals, so 0 in this case, the 0 will be repeated not once. Once it's by default we are adding, and so we are adding one more here, 2, right? So our 0 is repeated twice. So which means that at this point, so what we have at this point, what we have is we have two subarrays that are in sum gives us 7, right? So we have 3 and 4, but also we have this subarray, right? Minus 2, 2, 3, and the 4 gives us also 7. So in this case, we are taking as a sum, not count. We are taking the count from here, which is not 1 in this case, which is 2, and we are adding to our total count that we are returning. Again, the point here is that so we are progressing over our array, and we have, in order for us to verify that okay, this array makes sense. This array makes sense in sense that we are having total sum, and we are taking our k, and the somewhere earlier in the array we should have our leftover. So because total sum should be equal, because leftover plus k, right? In order for whole equation to make sense, leftover plus k should be equal to our sum. So our sum, in our case, right, we are taking sum is, at this point, sum is equals to 7. So 7 minus k gives us 0. But how many zeros we have, right? How many ways that we can make earlier in the array 0? There are 2 ways, right? Once we start the array, so at this point, these 2, these 2, and also including the -1 and the -2 also will give us 0, right? So this one gives us 0. If we exclude them and just take these 2, also gives us 0. That's why we are taking the 0. We are adding the count, the value 2. So let's take one more example. So we are progressing over our array, right? So we are progressing over our array. Let's say that we are adding each element. So for example, we are adding 7, then next element 7. 7 plus 7 gives us 14. Then we are adding 7 plus 2 gives us 16. So we are adding to our map 16 minus 3 gives us 13. 13 plus 13, and the 13 plus 1 gives us again what? 13 plus 1 gives us again 14. So now we are updating this value, and this value is 2, right? This value is 2 here. So now let's go further. So 14 plus 4 gives us 18. 18 plus 2, 20, and the 20 plus 1 is 21. So let's say we are at the end of the array. Sum is equals at this point is equals to 21. So we are at the end of the array. We are here. So sum is equals to 21, and we are taking leftover, right? Sum minus k gives us 14. So it gives us 14 here, right? Gives us 14. So sum is equals to 21, and the leftover is equals to 14. So now let's look at our array and see that how many ways are there that we can make the 14 from the rest of the array. There are 2 ways, right? So this one here, right, is equals to 14, right? This equals to 14, but this one here in total equals to 0, right? This one is equals to 0. So there are 2 ways how we can make the 14 from the rest of the array, right? Excluding our k. So the first way is this one, right? So the first way is this one. The sum of all this is equals to 14, because 3 plus 4 plus 7, and this in total gives us 0. And the another one is this one, right? Which gives us 14. In other words, we can say that at this point, for this subarray, that the new subarray that we have, including our one, we have 2 subarrays that gives us 7, right? The first one is, let me put another color. So the first one is this one. So the first one is this one, and another one here is this one, right? Including this one. So including this one gives us 7, right? And the only way how we can do that, that's the advantage of using the prefix sum here. So what we do is we are, instead of recalculating that, so we are at this point taking our total sum, which is equals to 21. So 21 minus whatever our k is equals to 7, and we have 14. And we are checking in our array, do we have any, how can we make earlier in the array from the leftover that we have, right? Does that equals to 14? Yes, we see that, okay, there are 2 cases exactly, which is equals to 14. We have 2 cases. One is this one, right? One is this one, and one is this one where it equals to 14, which means that we can make at least, we can make 2 subarrays including our last element that we just added, that equals to k. So, and the time and space complexity in this case, since we are going over array only once, it's going to be of n, and also we are using here hash map, and in the worst case scenario, space complexity is also going to be of n. I hope it's more clear. I had a previous explanation for this problem, but I recently talked with my friend. He pointed out to me why it's not clear, why it's exactly we are using here prefix sum. I made this video, and hopefully it will be more clear why why prefix sum specifically the best approach in this case, because you can solve it using the other approaches, but the prefix sum is the most optimal way to solve this problem. Okay, that's it. Hope you like my content. If you like it, please hit the like button and subscribe my channel. See you next time. Bye.